You know, the ambient sounds in this game are pretty fucking amazing. Really amazing. But today we're going to talk about Cyberpunk 2077, and I'm going to give you guys my first impressions of the game. I'm currently playing it on PC. I'm playing with more of a recommended build, and I can play the game on high. I get some frame drops with OBS, not in the game itself, but with some of my recordings, so I'm gonna have to tweak settings and maybe tweak my frame weight. Gotta tweak the frame weight. But yeah. So far, I'll say this: despite all of the issues that's been going on with this game, um, it's a really good game, and at times it can be an amazing experience. So it's not like this game came out half baked in terms of content and what was promised in terms of content. But I do think there were a couple of things handled really bad by CDPR when it came to basically marketing gameplay on the base consoles, because it is absolute garbage on those consoles. And I feel like they could have been more transparent about that in the first place. Nothing was really said. They really tried to avoid actual gameplay on the base consoles. And yeah, look, at the end of the day, CDPR pretty much prioritizes PC in terms of refinement, and consoles usually come second. And even so, this game has been anticipated for so long, and many people still have base consoles. They are expecting the game to at least run decently on those consoles. As far as like graphics go, it obviously isn't going to look as good. I think we all know that. No matter how angry you are, I think you need to know that it's not going to look as good. But I'm sure it could run better, possibly. But but yeah, in terms of like my first impressions, I am a massive fan of the Witcher franchise. I love The Witcher 3. Playing The Witcher 3 got me into The Witcher as a whole. It got me into more of the lore, and it was an amazing experience, an amazing RPG experience. And when I heard that they were making this game, what I expected was CDPR storytelling and RPG mechanics. And it was going to take place in a futuristic cyberpunk open world, which has never been done to this scope before. And they did that. They definitely did it. Like, I mean, there's nothing else to say on that front. They pulled it off. The Mad Lads did it. But but there are a wealth of problems, which was to be expected by me anyway. The Witcher 3 launched pretty shitty. Game was great on launch, but it had so many problems, very similar to this game. But I do think that it's slightly worse with Cyberpunk, because we're like in the middle of a shifting gaming generation. And base consoles, PS4 and Xbox One, they run like absolute shit, man. It's fucking terrible. And I would actually be really upset if I was stuck playing this on those consoles. Now, I do also have this on PS4 Pro. It's actually the first copy I purchased before getting it on PC. It runs pretty okay on the PS4 Pro. It could be better, but it's not terrible. It could definitely be better. There are some texture popping, even with some NPCs. It only lasts maybe half a second usually. It's not long, but it's noticeable. And it can get annoying sometimes. So that's one big issue. On top of the massive bugs, there aren't a lot of game breaking bugs, but there just are a lot of really annoying bugs and crashes that'll just get in the way of people's enjoyment of this amazing game. And I know this is gonna sound bad to say, but the game's gonna get better over time. And yes, I know in today's climate with gaming, we shouldn't put up with that. But at the same time, this isn't exactly Anthem levels of bad because the game itself is great. It just launched with a bunch of problems. And we've seen this before with The Witcher 3. And yeah, we're gonna get more. We're gonna get expansions. We're gonna get free DLC. We're gonna get paid DLC, which is most likely expansions. And this game's gonna get better. You know, we may even have transmog, because there's no transmog for armor or anything like that. You kind of have to just really try to upgrade what you really like wearing on top of that. And yeah, more things are gonna come to this game. I'm not gonna give this game a rating. I don't like giving games ratings, but I'll say that personally for me, this game is what I expected, and I love it, and it might be one of my favorite games of all time. Especially eventually when things are better for the game. But it is playable for me on PC, and I'm enjoying it. I really am. And you know what CDPR did with base console gameplay and the basically PR for this game in terms of the base consoles was bad, and that can't be excused. It just can't be. So I managed to capture some gameplay from my PS4 Pro version of the game, and yeah, it looks pretty good. Not too bad compared to PC. I mean, doesn't look next gen at all, but yeah, it looks pretty okay. Now you see some texture popping with the NPCs. That doesn't last long, but it is really annoying sometimes, especially when it happens a lot. Some of the time, it's really annoying. Aside from that, it runs at mostly 30 frames per second. It can dip, and sometimes there's like literal frame drops, where there's like a split second where it just drops to 0 frames. It does that sometimes, and I really hope that gets patched out eventually because it really needs to be. Yeah, there are obviously some visual bugs here and there. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. But I did experience some crashes though. Only 2 crashes on the PS4 Pro version for me, but I hear from some people, even on the PS5, their game would crash like every hour. And that sucks. I'm thinking maybe if it's possible, if you can just uninstall and reinstall the game, maybe that would change things a bit. I have no fucking idea. Like, I really don't know. The only thing I can say is that if you really want to experience this game now and you have a PS4 Pro or an Xbox One X, then yeah, sure, pick up the game if you don't mind some of the bugs and crashes. And maybe some of the inconsistencies with the frame rate, which aren't that bad. It's definitely savable, but if you have any of the base last gen consoles, I don't know, man. I don't know if you would want to get this. Like, and don't upgrade to a Pro or a One X. If you have base consoles, just go next gen or build a PC, or just wait it out, because I think we all expected this in some form. I know I did. I didn't expect the base consoles to be like terabad, but I did expect the bugs and glitches, which can obviously be patched out, and I'm pretty sure they will be. And oh, there was some more texture pop in here too. It's really annoying. So here we are driving in third person on the PS4 Pro, and yeah, it still looks pretty good, man. Like, before I got my PC version, I was pretty satisfied with this, but I think after playing it on PC for a while and then coming back here to see the texture pop in, that shit bothers me a lot. But you know, if I had to, I would play it on this if I didn't have any other choice. To be completely honest with you, I would do that. But from what I've seen on base consoles, I would not put up with that shit. So yeah, this game is a treat, but it's definitely rough right now, and it's kind of a shame. But yeah, I guess that's it for my first impressions for now. As far as like RPG elements go, it's everything I expected. It's deep enough for me. Dialogue choices are fine. It's just everything I expected and then some. So yeah, this is definitely a wait for people who just have base consoles. Unless you just really, really want to experience the game now, then go ahead. But I wouldn't recommend it. Also, if you want to see more content for the game, I have a lot of projects in the works for this game that I want to talk about that I don't think many will be talking about. I want to talk about what I think about the first person camera perspective and why I think CDPR did a really good job with the immersion. Despite the fact that, yeah, you can't see your character all that much, but it feels so immersive that you actually feel like V. You know, you can look down and see your clothing and your feet. You can see you running. Like, just the animations are mostly fluid, and you feel very immersed in this game, outside of bugs and all. But I think they did a good job with that. So if you're interested, consider subscribing, leaving a like, and telling me your experience with the game, because that's what I really want to know. I want to know other people's experience with this game and how it's treating them so far. So yeah, let me know in the comments below.